Alright, hey, my name's David or Panda, whatever you know me by. Just wanted to do a quick little video talking about a Flamewood Totem champion little shell that I've created, and well, most of it is ripped off of other, content creators, builds, all that stuff, but just wanted to make a little like proof of concept video just to kind of put it out there, and also so I can pivot off this character if I do decide to, come up with another stupid idea. But the gist of it is Flamewood Totem scales off of your scales off of the totem's health for its base damage, and so by increasing its life with one of the new Foulborn items. By new, I mean from last league, of course, but the Foulborn Formless Flame, it increases totem life by overcapped fire resistance on their parts. So if we can juice up the totem life, well, we can juice up the totem resistances, we can juice up their life. Most people do this on Chieftain because obviously, scaling fire resistance is kind of Chieftain's whole thing. But when it comes to Champion, they also get a cool little node called Rallying Icon, where their banners, and well, anybody can take this node, but Champion really is all about the banners. When you put down a banner, it also grants 5% LE res to you and your allies. This is now innate to the banner skill, so it scales with the banner. That is, once you put down a bunch of banners with a bunch of Valor, it's like their little stacking, almost like a mana resource type mechanic. You get a bunch of life resistance. Like, we're talking maybe, I don't know, like, let's just be general with it. You're getting about 100% LE res per banner with max value you're putting down. So if we can put down a bunch of banners that juice up our totems, then basically you have like what, 500 res, 500 plus 500 fire res on the totems, which is about 30,000 right now for me, about around 30,000 totem life. Most builds I was looking at were floating around 10 to 20,000. I know if you get like a plus aura or AoE gloves, you can also get up to about 40,000 uh, total life, which is a lot of base damage. We're also using Enmity's Embrace just to penetrate fire resistance. We pretty much cap with no problem. I'm using Foulborn Skin of the Lords to get a little bit more increased elemental and chaos resistance. 50% increase. This helps mitigate the downside of Enmity's Embrace. Without the Skin of the Lords, you're looking at about 180 overcapped fire res. But with this, we're overcapping at about like 300%. And the rest of it is just getting gem levels on the totems. So we are using Black Zenith. If you're clicking on this video and you've seen any other Flamewood totem guide, you know what this item is. But just in case you don't, basically socketed projectile spells have plus 4 projectiles and deal 150% more damage with hits. Usually the downside of 4 seconds of cooldown is really annoying, but because we're using a totem, we can just replace the totem and mitigate the downside. I also want to mention lastly that with the modern day PoE, you can get another support gem if you just use a level 20 rejuvenation totem. I was being a bit lazy and I just grabbed the 2120 and it made my life a bit easier. And yeah, the rest of the gear is actually pretty simple. It's mostly uniques, as you see. I'm using Archon's tools for just a bit of reservation efficiency and shocking skitterbots, or sorry, scorching skitterbots, and Prospero's protection because we don't have any armor anyways from our Skin of the Lords. And yeah, Dark Seer, Spell Gems, Malediction, Life, ES. I want to bring up quickly that I do have an Eldritch Battery Skin of the Lords. This is pretty necessary just because I don't want to path all the way over to Eldritch Battery. You look at my tree, but you can if you want to, or you can use maybe that Legacy of the Roads Eldritch Battery +5. Pretty honest. The shield, it looks pretty nasty. Well, it is kind of nasty. It has +1 maximum number of summoned totems. You can get that pretty deterministically. It's one of the only prefixes in your influences. So you can pretty much do what I did and just do a suffix lock, reforge, and you're almost guaranteed summon totems. With this double influence base, there is a max life roll, but that's not that bad. I mean, you can just go again if you don't like that. But you're probably looking at the Warcry cooldown rate. You're like, why do we have Warcry cooldowns? Well, it turns out that with banners, you need a way to get Valor. Um, because we're not a melee skill, we don't really have the methods of getting Valor, so I'm using the gain 5 Valor when you Warcry node with auto exertion, and we are just covering our tree in Warcry cooldown tattoos. With all of these tattoos and the mod on our shield, we have, I want to say, less than 1 second on our Ancestral Cry, or sorry, General's Cry. Yeah, just under 1 second on General's Cry, and just under 2.5 on Infernal Cry, and just under 2.5 on Intimidating Cry. Let me quickly go into a zone so you can see. If you look in the top left, you can see I'm gaining Valor pretty swiftly here. And once we get up to 105, we can just put down a banner. And then we wait for it to come back. Bam, put down another banner. Then we wait for it to come back, and these banners last about, I want to say, a little under 30 seconds. So yeah, 27 seconds. So you have your time, but you can see here we have 360 fire res, so we are overcapped pretty well. And our cold and lightning res. If you want to use those, what are they called? Breach, like, I guess just breach mods. If you want to use those breach mods that, you know, evasion rating by overcap cold res, or crit by lightning res, you can just do that as well. It's actually a pretty fun shell. But yeah, and we pretty much just, when it comes to bossing Flamewood, it's really clunky, and that's something I want to talk about in this video. But basically, you just put down your banners and kind of chill out. But yeah, that's the whole basis of the build. I think I've covered everything when it comes to the build. It's actually really unique heavy, so if you're watching this video and, I don't know, maybe for some reason you actually do want to try it, you can just buy all the uniques, right? Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything with the jewels. Oh, Rain of Splinters. People, I was looking online and people were saying that this is actually unnecessary because the ideal projectile amount for Flamewood is 5 projectiles, and this gives us 7, I believe. But I haven't really found any issue with it yet. If it is an issue, just replace this with something else. Maybe it's not a natural instinct. What's that called? Maybe a what is that called? Inspired learning. If you can manage to fit it in. And we're just grabbing, you know, we got Chaos Res from the Light of Meaning. I'm using a Supreme Ego Impossible Escape here just to steal some more reservation efficiency. And because you look at our auras, right, we have Determination, Purity of Elements, Purity of Fire, Shocking Skitterbots, all of the Auto Exertion, War Cries. So we really need a lot of mana reservation efficiency. And I believe I'm allocating Leader of the Pack. Yeah, Leader. Anointing Leader of the Pack, the Prospero's Protection tech. Again, I'm a really big fan of this. Shout out to, I believe it's Poop Butts who discovered that. Just really, really nice. Gives you a bunch of armor. If you want to just see real quick, right? We have 37k armor. Take this off, 24k. So that's at least 10k armor right there. Pretty sweet. And everything else is really self-explanatory. I want to mention that the taunt for the Totems is actually a little awkward because we're Warcrying so often. Like, if we go back to a zone, look at how often we're Warcrying, right? Every time we Warcry, we're taunting enemies in the area, so the node that says when I place a totem, they taunt nearby, is kind of useless. Like, it's not really like, unless I'm gonna time my totem placement perfectly, it's not looking good. So yeah, that is one thing I wanna have to mention. But that should be it. Let me go into the mapping section now. I'm just gonna run a Scoured Tier 17 just because I'm lazy and I want to look at the mods. But you can run a lot of mods on this. We'll do Abomination. Obviously, because we're not doing any damage, you can run Reflect mods even. It's pretty cool. But I do believe Aura Skills might be a bad mod for this build. But yeah, the clear Flamewood isn't going to be good for clear. There is a, surprisingly, this was surprising to me, there's a mod on the tree that says enemies killed near your banner explode, but I'm almost certain it doesn't work with Ancestral Bond, just because historically Ancestral Bond, it says you deal no damage, and that should count for your explosions as well. and your totems aren't usually getting the explosion, counting for it. I was trying annihilation support, and it didn't really seem like it was doing anything, but just by way of how the totems work, and you have enough clear to not feel like total shit. I mean, we're shooting 7 projectiles per shot, right? Another cool thing about the build is that this is Defiance Banner. It gives movement speed, and this scales so crazily that, like, look, watch what happens when I put it down. With an actual movement speed flask, you can go pretty far with it. I was trying to use a 2 flask mage blood just to kind of see how fast I could make my character, and it felt like a heist runner at that point. And nothing good in here. Let me just maybe rush to the boss. That might be easier for content. But yeah, you just put down your totems. When they get hits, they shoot out their little missiles. Again, if you clicked on this video, you probably already know about all that, so I'm not gonna waste your time talking about it, but it is very clunky. Dropping down banners is a little even more clunkier, but luckily there's nothing else I have to do, and that's what I'm really grateful for. Now we're in the boss arena. We just sit here, we wait, we put down our banners. I did do Simulacrum, I did Uber Cortex, I did Uber Cyrus, and that wasn't too fun, but I still did it. And yeah, it's a pretty cool build overall. We don't have any way of really killing these totems, just because, well, it's not like they're doing damage, right? And yeah, we just sit here, we just wait for these guys to get hit. Oh, we're dead, yeah. You see, the problem is if you don't have your banners up, obviously it's gonna be a bit awkward. So it takes a little bit of micromanaging, and honestly, it's the most micromanaging I've played in a build in a long time. So, but still pretty cool that it works. Just annoying, especially when there's bosses with invuln phases, because it turns out that if a boss has like an invuln phase, your totem won't shoot at it. I guess it's to save like mental bandwidth or something. I don't know what's going on inside these totems' brains, but yeah, it's not the most convenient experience. I'll put it that way. Let's see if we can maybe have some better luck on the second go around here. And maybe I'll do like an incarnation of I think it's Trauma. Joe one that gives the cool flask. I'll run one of those just for kicks. And it looks like he's dead. Pretty cool, man. We got a Maven Fragment, Road Troubles. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Let me see if I can buy one of those Echo of Reverence. No, it's Dread. Chaos. Hope everybody's league's going well. I know Dibs are back up over 300, which was pretty interesting to me. I'm not the richest man alive, so yeah, let's try a little Echo of Reverence just because I'm here. Boom, boom. The build itself, once everything's going on, and with something like Simulacrum, is actually pretty comfy. We're getting max suppress from Defiance Banner, we're getting max block from War Banner, Dread Banner. Pretty awesome shell. Just a lot of micromanaging, and these totems don't exactly help us, right? Also, I noticed that health bars usually cover the amount of Valor I have, which makes it kind of hard to see how much Valor I have on right now. But I'm just being generic at this point. Now in the Rose phase. Again, having to just remember to put down the banners every now and then is a little bit weird, but there are worse things in this game, right? Like, you play like a Warcry piano build. Like, I can't imagine what that was like in its prime. I think I put down that banner a little bit too early, but what's cool is when this guy does the nuke phase, you can just put your banners on the outside of the ring, and it will still hit him because obviously, you know. one of my banners is down, and the blue rose. See if I can find it. There we go. Yeah. I haven't done this boss in a while, so sorry if it's a little bit weird. Also, the movement speed can actually kind of ruin your bossing gameplay, especially during Cyrus. I was having a problem just because I was so fast that like I kept running into storms and then like dying like an idiot. Yep, and there you go. Maybe I should have done the Uber version, but I know he's a little bit expensive, so I'm not paying myself for that. See what this is. Summon skeletons. I actually had a build for summon skeletons, like a build idea, but it was kind of lame. It was like there's a new they brought back the mercenary mod that lets you convert fire damage to chaos. So I was just like, well, if I took the combat focus jewels and turned my summon skeletons into poison summon skeleton mages. But anyways, that's not that's beside the point. That's pretty much the build. Of course, I don't really recommend this unless you're really in need of a wacky bosser. But maybe it's cheap enough for you to do on like a league star or something. I mean, it does take a lot of Foulborn tech, but everything else is pretty honest. This is the most honest like Ryu boost you'll ever see. This is really easily craftable. You just awaken their orb cooldown recovery with reservation efficiency, and then lock the suffixes reforge for +1 totems. And this is a boss unique, and this is really expensive right now because people are all sending them with volatile vol orbs. But everything else, again, pretty honest, pretty simple. Yeah, Flamewood totems. Don't try it at home.